Department, Fire, G Units 2, Engine 27, Engine 20, Engine 29, Truck 7, Battalion 3. All units respond on Oakland 2. We have confirming still.
Hello, I'm Nick Luby, Deputy Chief of Operations for the Oakland Fire Department. Initiation or transmission of a firefighter distress signal, Mayday, 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 produces more stress and potential chaos than any other single type of incident we may encounter throughout our careers. The Alameda County Fire Chiefs have approved updates to 2 operational guides, specifically Appendix K and T. These are county-wide standard operating guidelines that every department will adopt. They set the minimum expectation for RIC operations and Mayday emergency traffic. The revised operations are all geared towards supporting the work that all of you are doing on the streets. In a Mayday situation, we know that minutes can make the difference between a rescue and a recovery. With these changes, all fire departments in Alameda County will be operating off the same page on the scene of a Mayday. This video will provide a summary of the big changes.
Dispatchers play an integral role in any emergency situation involving law enforcement officers and firefighters. Law enforcement dispatchers are expected to respond to a Mayday situation with urgency and take immediate actions, just as they would in an 1199 situation with their officers.
From hearing the initial Mayday transmission to calling for resources, dispatchers work behind the scenes to provide support to members operating in the field.
Through Project Mayday, we know that over 35% of Maydays are not heard by the IC on the first transmission. As a result of comprehensive research and studies, and with the changes to Appendix T, dispatchers will now play a greater role in supporting the IC on a Mayday incident. Moving forward, the incident commander will only need to request dispatch to run the Mayday checklist.
This will prompt the dispatcher to retrieve a checklist that is standardized throughout Alameda County. The checklist has all the actions that need to occur, including initiation of emergency tones, activating the channel marker on the Mayday channel, ordering resources, and in some situations, patching radio channels. This will allow the incident commander to focus on running the firefighter emergency while reducing radio traffic that may interfere with critical traffic from the firefighter with the emergency.
This project has adopted best practices based on the research conducted by retired Chief Don Abbott through Project Mayday. Project Mayday has performed a forensic audit of more than 5,000 Maydays in career departments and 2,000 from volunteer departments, and is the most complete informational analysis on Maydays ever conducted. This provides us proven recommendations we can use to guide communications, command, operations, response, training, and after-action review.
We know that less than 10% of Mayday rescues are performed by a RIC. The balance are either self-rescue, rescued by their crew, or an adjacent crew operating in the area that hears the call for help. The updates to these appendices provide one big change to operations for all firefighters in the county. We know that moving a firefighter with a Mayday off the tactical channel that all firefighters are operating on reduces the chances of a successful rescue by other crews. The current function of the emergency button moves a firefighter to channel 16. Moving forward, the emergency button will now operate differently and should be used when any firefighter in the county finds themselves in a Mayday situation.
When the emergency button is pressed on the dispatch channel, it'll still revert the firefighter to channel 16. If there's a tactical channel assigned to the incident, the dispatcher will then patch channel 16 back to the tactical channel. This could occur when a firefighter forgets to change their portable radio from dispatch to TAC. In most situations, a firefighter will be operating on a tactical channel when a Mayday occurs. In these situations, when the emergency button is pressed, the firefighter's portable radio will be locked into that tactical channel, and that radio will be given priority over all other radios so that a Mayday transmission can be made. In both situations, the consoles in the dispatch center will still light up with audible and visual indications that a firefighter has depressed the emergency button. Moving forward, Mayday training should include the use of the emergency button.
The rollout of Appendix K and Appendix T is being coordinated through the Alameda County training officers. Our rollout began with all dispatchers and dispatch centers in the county undergoing training on how to support fireground operations when a Mayday occurs, and it continued with a full day of training for for all field incident commanders. All departments are now encouraged to review Mayday operations and use the emergency activation button in their internal Mayday and RIC training.
Hi, my name is Manuel Suarez. I'm with Alameda County Fire Department and chair of the Alameda County Fire Chiefs Communications section. Today I'm going to review the function of the emergency button. We will cover how to initiate an emergency, how to clear an emergency, and the visual and audible indications the radios will produce. There are three main scenarios where you would need to use the emergency button. First, when you are on a tactical channel, which is most common. Second, when you are on dispatch channel. And third, when you are operating on a direct non-repeated channel. In most situations, the use of the emergency button will occur while a firefighter is on tactical channel. In this situation, when you want to transmit a Mayday, push and hold the orange button on the radio or microphone for 2 seconds. Your radio will flash on the screen and send an audible and visual alert to other radios in addition to displaying the radio alias to the dispatch center of the jurisdiction you are operating in. Your radio will lock on the selected channel so you are not accidentally moved to another channel during Mayday operations, and your radio will take priority over any other transmission on that radio channel. So your Mayday will be transmitted on the first attempt. If you are on a dispatch channel and you need to use emergency button, push and hold the orange emergency button on the radio or microphone for 2 seconds. Your radio will flash emergency on the screen and send an audible and visual alert to other radios in addition to displaying the radio alias to the dispatch center of the jurisdiction you are operating in. Your radio will automatically revert to channel 16 for the zone you are operating in. Your radio will take priority over any other transmission on that radio channel. If there is an assigned tactical channel for the incident, the dispatcher will then patch channel 16 back to the appropriate tactical channel to facilitate rescue by adjacent firefighters operating on scene. In both these situations, the procedure to clear an emergency is to push and hold the emergency button on the radio or the microphone for 2 seconds. There is no other way to clear the emergency from the radio. Turning the radio off and then back on, nor removing the battery will clear the emergency. The last and extremely unlikely scenario is that you may need to use the emergency button on a direct, non-repeated radio channel. In this situation, the procedure to use the emergency button and what it triggers is different than the previous two examples. To use the emergency button on a direct channel, push to talk and the emergency button at the same time. You can then release the emergency button but continue to hold the PTT button. The radio will transmit the alert tone until you release the push to talk button. In this situation, the radio will not lock on the channel nor take priority over any other transmission. It will also not send an alert to the dispatch center. The tone will be heard only by radios within the immediate vicinity.
This concludes our training video for the upcoming changes to Appendix K and T. Just to recap, Dispatch Center enhanced training and increased active participation in a declared Mayday. Implementation of vetted operational changes during a RIC situation that have been proven to increase survivability for a downed firefighter by remaining on their tactical channel. Updating of all radios throughout Alameda County to allow for this change in the operation of the emergency button. Enhancing training for incident commanders throughout the entire county to assist them with being prepared for the words Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. More than just incident commanders or battalion chiefs, everyone must become familiar with these appendices since any one of us could find themselves in this high-risk, low-frequency situation. We all know this job gets real fast. And with adoption of these new procedures, we are taking the next step to make sure we are all prepared for that bad day. In closing, I'd like to thank the Alameda County training officers and the Alameda County RIC cadre, communication specialists and dispatch staff, and the Alameda County Operations Section Chief and the Alameda County Fire Chiefs for supporting and assisting with the implementation of these new procedures. Stay safe, stay prepared, and remember, our goal is everyone goes home safe at the end of each shift.